everyone. Good afternoon. I believe you all are able to hear us loud and clear. Um, Thank you on behalf of Microtech Learning to join this webinar focusing on how you can start your career in cybersecurity. Today's topic will be addressed by our EC Council certified instructor, Mr. Anthony Gui. Before I invite Mr. Gui to start with today's topic, I want to let you know that we will not take any questions during the webinar. However, you can share your questions to webinar@microtechlearning.com and we will revert at the earliest. Thank you. And now I would request Mr. Gui to take over the floor and start with today's topic.
Thank you, Adia. Thank you so much. Okay. A very good afternoon to all you guys. Well, probably it's my morning. Okay. By the way, it's in Singapore time now. It's 1:08 a.m. Okay. So wherever you are, okay, a very good day to you. So today, my topic to you will be starting a career in cybersecurity. Okay. Now, just want to confirm that, how are you guys? Are you able to hear my voice? Everything sounds okay for you? Good. Well done. Fantastic. Okay. I can see that I can see the numbers is coming in. Welcome. Welcome. Okay. Now, let me just go through today these particular topics. Okay. A career in cyber. When Microtech wanted me to talk about the cybersecurity career in this path, they was actually targeting, maybe we should talk about, courses like CH, EC courses, CompTIA courses. What are the courses available for people to embark? I have another approach of here. Now, instead of me going by talking about the course content and why not I do it in a very different way? Why not we go into the content by showing you some of the stuff that this is what you're going through if you are going to pick up any cybersecurity course. And just one more thing, I realized that some of the questions just now, I saw some questions they are asking, do you have bug bounty tips? Do you have something like, what is the difference between? No, today we are very much focused on cybersecurity career path and those who want to embark in this area. Now, what type of skill set you should learn? What are the things you have? Now, if I embark on this course, what am I expecting? Okay, so this is the primary focus of today, this 1 hour session. Okay, 1 hour session. Okay, my name is Anthony Gui. I came from Singapore. Now, this is my lovely country. Okay, it's a very small tropical island across the equator. Now, I'm a certified EC counter instructor. I'm also a forensic investigator as well. Now, beside this, I also do some of the courses, example like red team and blue team versus the attacking and the defending. Okay, so now without further ado, I'm going to move forward to talk about the next. Okay, so now cybercrime is actually in the rise, and especially for workers and learners are all available in the remote sites. Okay. Now, during this COVID period, this COVID-19 period, now regardless where you are, now think of this particular keyword here, essential. Now, what job currently now is essential? Okay. Now, if you are doing something like nail polishing, or you are doing like something that is not essential, you probably during this COVID period, you have a big impact on it. F&B business definitely is a big impact to you. But now looking at during this period of time, now IT, cybersecurity, it has never been stopped, because this is a very essential keyword to hear, because everyone needs to work at home. Everyone needs to bring back their job. Okay, when they go back home, they still can function as though they are working. So all these need connectivities. Now IT comes in now in terms of IT, on top of it, you have cybersecurity as well. So cybersecurity is really, really an in thing. And I really hope that you guys embark the same journey as me, and realize that this cybersecurity is actually a key thing. Okay? Now, talking about key thing, talking about the learning environment. Now, Microtech itself, okay, is a pretty good place for you to start off because they offer a lot of skill sets, a lot of nice courses and promotions to help you to nurture your dream. Okay. Now, cybersecurity is not just, it's a very big word. Okay, it's a very widespread of scopes. Now, by attending one course or one course is not enough. Now, there is lots of exposure, lots of concepts that you need to know. Now, Microtech, okay, offers you lots of IT and management trainings. Now, the staffs are very friendly and they will do their best to assist you. So, okay, I urge you guys after the course, okay, after this 1 hour seminar, now please visit microtech8learning.com for information, or you can contact them at this number or email them at this issue. Okay, I think they will be able to help you at your maximum to assist you for any inquiry. Okay, so once again, I thanks Microtech Learning for inviting me to do this seminar. Okay, now as you guys know, the hacking has been going on. Even though while we are sitting here, now there is a lot of hacking activities appearing in the cybersecurity World Wide Web. Okay, now about 15% of the world internet traffic is active by cyber attacks. Okay, then 1 in 20 computers are infected, more than 50 million worldwide. This is statistics. If you look at my this particular chart, okay, now basically since year 2012, every day there is a lot of cyber attacks going on. Okay, now major cyber attacks on a lot of big companies like Sony Pictures. Okay, now Ashley Madison's. Okay, TV5, Mondi. Now all these are big companies. They also will be vulnerable to you. Okay, so now recent. Okay, just about I think if not 1 day or 2 days ago, we have this cyber attack at Australia. They classify this as sophisticated attacks from state-based actor. Okay, what is state-based actor? Meaning this is no longer attack by cyber group that are targeting on companies or corporates. No, this is state. That means a country attacking a country. So based on their analysis, they believe there's only a few countries has this capability. Okay, so cyber attacks is ongoing. So in order for us to fight the bad guys, okay, so embarking this cybersecurity journey, you must know how does the bad guys, how do they work, how does hacker things, okay. So why do the hackers they like to attack? What is their objective? Okay, now probably because they like to disrupt your business continuity or financial loss, or maybe they like to send you a virus, then that's called ransomware. Okay. Probably, maybe if you have friends that your disgruntled employees, maybe they want to take revenge on you. Okay, so there are many possible motives. Okay, so attacking the goals by first thing what they do is they have to find your vulnerabilities. Okay, in your systems. So now, before I go on, may I just share with you one particular video, okay, to talk about how does a good guys when they maintain their systems, how do they fight, how do they defend, okay? Now you probably may need to lower maybe slide down your audio volume in case the audio is too loud for you, okay?
Where are you?
In the server room.
Again, leave them alone.
We can't afford for anything to go wrong.
It's gonna work. Just, you're already late for the meeting. Hurry up.
At dawn, the Icarus Clean Energy Satellite solar power system will go online. It will provide clean and constant energy for all. Will the world change with the next sunrise?
Hey, sorry I'm late.
Okay, team, the Icarus system goes live tonight. Icarus is our most important client, so I need everyone to stay sharp. Should be a quiet night, so just stay alert.
The energy industry is concerned about the new power system. Could the power system cause mass ruin in the energy sector?
It's finally happening. Clean energy for everyone. Think it's gonna work?
I really hope so. Hold on a minute. Unauthorized access. I'm pulling it up on screen. I'm calling the client. Hello, Mr. Chan. We've detected an unauthorized access on your server. It's not him. Verified alert.
They're overloading the server with junk data. It's a DDoS attack.
Must be a big botnet. They're trying to stop the Icarus launch.
Contact the Threat Research Lab and find out where the attack is coming from.
Attack on critical infrastructure.
Threat Lab reporting. They've determined the attack was launched through simultaneous points from US and Asia Pacific. There's something else. They're seeing communications to the botnet command and control coming from Icarus.
If it's coming from inside the facility, it must have been uploaded manually.
There are hundreds of infected terminals. We'll never trace it in time.
Unless... I've got it. We have the source IP of the botnet command and controller. If we scan the customer firewall logs, we should be able to locate the source of the infection as well.
Make it quick.
I've got it.
5 seconds to launch, Diane.
It's done. Lock down the command and control on the backbone, on the firewall, locking down the network.
Threat neutralized. Icarus systems online. Back to work.
The Icarus project is now online. This might just be a new day and a new world.
So guys, this is how a day life in the security center, okay? In the security center, and how are the good guys? How did they maintain the systems and stuff like that? But they were quick. They were quick. They were on their toe. They were able to, because why is it happening? Why do they able to detect? Now they understand the fundamental of how the hackers' mindsets. Okay, So today I'm going to touch on basically 4 major topics. Okay. Now in terms of cybersecurity career, now these are the 4 main, I would say, pillar. That regardless which area, which sectors you are going, now depending which role you are doing, now you're bound to be in these 4 sectors. Now the first one is what we call a vulnerability assessment. Now that one is more towards the blue team. Now your job is to discover, is there any backdoor, okay, likelihood that hackers may be able to come in. You're going to examine your systems. Okay, is there any vulnerabilities? Okay, how this is patched? Do you need to patch it? These are things that, now after you have done, now you probably want to be, if you want to make sure that your system is fine, you invite someone from the third party to come in as a vendor to test your systems. Now, is your vulnerability, has it been resolved? We call them pen tests, okay? Or in long, it's called penetration testing. So the first few sessions, I'm going to talk about the vulnerabilities versus penetration testing. Okay, so what is vulnerability assessments? Now, before even talking about attacking, now if you talk about bug bounty, you want to do pen testing. This, guys, before even do you any reconnaissance, information gathering. Now, if you are doing this directly to a target, you are actually doing what? Active reconnaissance. Now, the victims, they probably will know who you are, where you are. Now, that's a no-no for hackers. For us, what we do is we come in very quietly, okay? But before we do, we want to find out what is your vulnerability first. Now, that comes the vulnerability assessments, okay? Now, for blue team, okay? Now, this is something that I want you guys to take note. Now, if you know the enemy very well, then you can win the battle 1,000 times. Okay, this is quoted by Sun Tzu. Okay, why I say so? Now, in order for you to fight the hackers, okay, you must think like a hacker, behave like a hacker. understand how the consumption is coming up. So you can actually counter in offense in your own organizations. Okay. So by understanding yourself, okay, you understand you are looking for yourself for the weaknesses. Okay. So what is a VA? Okay. Now a VA basically is a vulnerability assessment, is to examine your ability, okay, from a system application to see is there any vulnerability. Now the keyword here is guys is identify weaknesses, okay, that possible that hackers can be exploited. Okay. Now information about the systems also we are talking about open ports. Now ports that is actually open can lead the hackers coming as a backdoor. Okay. Services that is vulnerabilities, applications that is vulnerabilities. Now all these things can be done when you run a vulnerability assessment. Now, the vulnerability assessment, the VA, there's a life cycle. Now, critical part of this life cycle is we want to establish something what we call a baseline. Now, nothing more, nothing less. Now, when you set up systems, this is your baseline. Now, anything that is above more, that means this is too heavy. You need to maybe fine-tune the system. Anything less, that means your system probably is not up to date. You have to work on it. So the life cycle basically is when you do your assessment, you identify your risk, you remediate, you verify it. The next thing you do is you monitor it. Okay, you monitor it. Make sure that the system is always healthy. The systems are out of, for like example, your antivirus. Make sure it's up to date. You monitor the status. Okay. So a good VA solutions must able to tell you that the correct outcomes are by testing the networks. Okay. Now they're able to automatically scans against updated database. Okay, this supports various networks. And one more very important thing, imitates the outside view of attackers for an objective. Now, last but not least, your tools must be able to suggest you a proper remediation and a workaround with the correct vulnerabilities. Okay. So now best practices for you to choose a VA tool. Now, these are the following points that I listed out here. But most important thing is, this is the first key point which I put the first, is it does not damage your network. Now, when you run the VA, it's actually supposed to find the vulnerability by not crashing your systems. Now, not all VA tools have that top notch of capability. Okay. Now, at the same time, discover your vulnerability, at the same time, run your system safe. Okay. So these are the few things that you need to consider. And one more is to have to decide the source location of the scan. Okay, well, what type of information you want to select. Okay, so there are many brands of VA. Okay, many brands of VA. Now, when the VA is conducted and final conclusion, okay, it will give you a score. Now, this score will give you this score is very important because it eliminates risk. So how do they eliminate risk? By providing you a scoring systems. Okay, like example, now these scoring systems can be found in this particular called CVSS. Now they will give you the vulnerability system scores. Okay, but by maybe it's low, this is the rating. But if it's high, now anything that is high for blue team, you have to look at it immediately. Okay, take it very seriously and quickly patch it. You cannot leave it alone, because if you leave it alone, this gives you a high chance that back for the hackers were able to come in because of this vulnerability. Okay. Now, besides CV, there's another group called CVD, which is called Common Vulnerability Exposure. Now, this is also a common ground for you to always day-to-day look out for. These are the latest vulnerabilities. Is this happening in my company systems? Let me run my VA to see is this happening. Okay. And of course, from the US government repository as a reference point, you have your NVD. I'm sure most of you will be very familiar with this NVD. Okay. Now there are many tools over here, okay, in the VA. Now they are not cheap, they are not free. In fact they are not free. So in here I list out there's a tool for you to choose. One is called Nexus. The other one probably you might heard of is called GFI Lambda. Now they constantly look out for you for your systems, okay, the vulnerabilities and the scanning tools. So with these guys, I'm going to demonstrate a quick one, okay, on Nexus Scan, okay, on Nexus Scan. Now on my machine here, I have a few virtual machines, okay. So before our seminar will start, okay, I have actually log in into my Nexus screen and configure based on today our webinar. Okay, so I'm going to enter my user ID and password on Nexus. Okay, so simple. Now once we are in the Nexus screen, now if you want to run a scan, okay, now this is Nexus. What does Nexus do? They have many policies that you can select. You want to choose to scan maybe from malware or mobile phone or anything, guys. You can choose your options. So very simple for me. I just need to run a new scan. I just type VA example. Now, if I know that my entire network has a subnet mask or this is my range, I will enter my systems called example like this. Now, this basically I'm running on my virtual environment. Okay, so I want to scan the entire subnet mask. Whether are they any one of them will, if they have vulnerability, they will flag out to me, and I will click launch. Okay, now this VA will normally run when at the off-peak time, okay, because it is actually very hungry memory resources. Okay, so I don't want to let you guys wait for me because we have only 1 hour. So what I do is pirate for that. Okay, today I have actually run a VA. Okay, now this is how the VA results looks like. Okay, so this based on these few PCs, or let's say this is my company network. Now they show me based on this IP address. Now, if I see something that is red color, now how do I refer what is red color? It means critical. Okay, so if I do a click on this critical, now they'll tell me the problem. Okay, they'll tell me the problem. Now, this is what a VA tool that normally I look out for. Is this the best tool? May not be. There are many other tools, but if you have no idea where to look out for a VA, now guys, you might want to check out Nexus. Now, in this critical, if I click on further, they will show me that, oh, under this critical, there is a ID which is called MS11-030. This refers to maybe the vulnerability, the code by Microsoft. And they tell you the description, they tell you the solutions, they also tell you the recommendation, what should you do, okay? So for Nexus, okay, they will list out everything for you, which is very nicely in the platform. Now, if you do not want to read it from the web browsers, something like this interface, now you can actually export it into other format. Example, Excel format, okay? Excel format. Now you can actually open up and then you can actually put it as a report and send to your vendors or wherever to do as a verification. Now, the critical thing is if today you realize that there is a critical here, now the next job you need to do is you have to find the solution to patch it. Now, once you patch it ready, to rerun your VA, you just do your monitoring. So we are establishing a baseline followed by a monitoring. Okay. Now a VA, okay, a VA does lots. Because of I'm just review that you can actually identify what are the weaknesses in the systems. Now, if you can see this, now probably hackers also can see this. Now, whoever has the faster fingers will win the war. Okay, whoever has a fun. That's why just now Sun Tzu said, if you want to win the war, you must know the enemy very well. Before you know the enemy, know yourself. What are the weaknesses that you can cover? Okay, so now with this, guys, okay, with this, let me bring you guys back to my slides. Okay. Okay. So this is called Nexus scanner, okay, a vulnerability scanner. Of course, you can do many things. So why do we need to run such VA? Is because we want to eliminate threats. Now, if you cannot eliminate threats, okay, then your risk is super high. Threats, now, no matter how secure your system is, now there will be a case there is some loophole in your systems. Again, I say that. Now, example, you can be a database administrator, but you might not be a database secure engineer. You can be a website, okay, a designer, but you might not be someone that is proficient in your website security. Okay, so we are here to now in the first stage we are here to identify threats. Now in the cybersecurity courses, now if you take trainings from Microtech, okay, now they have a lot of courses they list up for you. Example: EC Council, CEH, Certified Network Defender, CompTIA Security Plus, CompTIA A Plus, okay, or other related costs like ITU. Now we all talk about how do you prevent your system to protect your systems. Now these are the one steps. Okay, one of the items that you need to do is to protect yourself is by understanding what is risk, what is threats to you. The tool that I help you is called the VA. Okay. Now once you've done the VA, okay, now the next step is I want to know my system, is it secure? So how do I do the testing? Now this is the next stage, we call it penetration testing. So according to Sun Tzu, the art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. Now if today, okay, now coming from the hacker perspective, now if today I able to find out your systems has a lot of vulnerability. Now if I can able to bypass your firewall, your IDS, or your systems, and able to run low, okay, even your firewall or any radar can detect me, and I can exploit one of the systems without you knowing it. Would that be good? Would that be good? Now this is the ultimate goal. Now if I as a hacker exploit your system and your system start to give out a lot of alarms, now this is not a good news. Okay, this is not a good news. Now our job as a hacker is to come in as quietly as possible. And that's why if we can subdue the enemy without even fighting, this is very ideal case. Okay, this is very ideal case. So now hacking. Okay, so what's the difference between hacking and pen testing? Now hacking, okay, refers to exploit the vulnerabilities, compromise the security controls to gain unauthorized access. Okay, modify the systems. Okay, take out the features, and ultimately maybe you have business loss. But for pen testers are very different. Our job is to identify this is the vulnerability for you. Now please do something about it. Okay, so there's a line. Okay, now if you cross the line, then the line is very thin. Right? So pen tester and hackers, they are actually, so you must be an ethical. So how to be ethical? Now guys, please refer to Microtech Learning. Now this course is called EC Council Certified Ethical Hacker course. Okay, we will teach you how to be ethical, okay, as ethical, okay, as free, so that when you do your testing, when you face your client, okay, when you see something, how do you able to present yourself as a professional, as ethical pen tester? Okay, so before even we do pen tester, we must require to do one thing. We must able to scan the network. Okay, to scan the network. Okay, then after that you're able to do these steps called penetration testing. Okay, now this is the keyword here is to simulate that there's attacks going on. Okay, there's attacks. Identify the organizations. Okay, how do you find out the property? So with this, okay, okay, let me switch to my screen in terms of doing attack. Okay, attack. Now let's say example. Now just based on just now the vulnerability assessment, I realized that there's a lot of machines that are actually highlighted as red, okay, or critical, and some of them don't even have critical. Now critical means what? Is definitely high risk for people to access, but some may not show any symptoms of critical. But doesn't mean that hackers we cannot able to come in. Not true. We have our ways. So with this, now if you have a tool, okay, this tool, Kali pen testing, okay, Kali Linux. Now this Kali Linux is actually a pen testing tool or hacker tool, okay, depending on which side you are. Now here I'm attempting to do penetration testing, okay, on one of the systems since they have run vulnerability assessment. I want to find out whether is it really they have patch up, or is there's no way the hacker can come. So I'm going to simulate that there is an exploration going on. Okay, so again, guys, before you came in already, I actually set up a system because we have 1 hour. Okay, now if you want to see more the action and how to do it, okay, I will be very happy to show you now when you come on board to take on our CH class. Okay, I'm very happy to show you. So for this instance, my exploit, okay, my tools are already standing by. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the next step. Okay, the next stage. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to run my options. Okay, so now my executions of my attacks is ready, but there's still something else that I need to do. Okay, I need to discover, okay, the IP address of my target. At the same time, I need to change my target architecture. So who is my target? My window, okay? This particular Windows 7 machine. So based on my scanning, okay, when I perform my reconnaissance, I was able to capture the IP address on my side. And we realized that this is the IP address 192.168.81.161, okay? So let me set up my R host, okay? Let me configure my R host. Okay, let me just confirm the IP address again. 161, okay, 161, okay. Okay, now the next thing I need to set up is the architecture because I'm targeting a Windows 7. Now Windows 7 are basically our Windows 64 bits. Okay, so I need to set up the architecture. Need to set up the SX64, okay, which is a 64 bit. Now just to make sure that I have my whatever options I have entered is correct. Okay, I got my R host, I got my target ready. Now I just need to enter one command. If this command is able to penetrate through, meaning the blue team has failed their vulnerability patching, okay? Now they didn't realize that there is other vulnerability inside there. So guys, Nexus or vulnerability tools are here to assist you, but it's not 100%. Now, if this is not able to push through, well done, okay? Say good luck, say well done to the blue teams, okay? So let's find out, okay? Today really did the job. Okay, so I'm sending my payloads over there, okay, to execute. Okay, I'm sending my payloads. So let's see how it goes from there. So it's launching my Eternal Blue. Okay, now this is particular. Now this is just how the slide say. Your victims do not know you are coming in to attack you, and you actually take them down in subtle, that will be the ultimate. Okay, that will be the ultimate. So let's just wait for a while. Okay, let's see how it goes. Great, sending my packets ready. Interpreter session open. Voila. Now, for those who are familiar with Kali Linux or in cybersecurity, now when you do your pen testing and you see this interpreter here, meaning what? You are actually now doing a remote hosting. Okay. Now you are currently although I'm Kali PT, but now currently I'm actually Windows 7 machine. Now what does it so? Why do I say so? Now the first thing I need to do is just need to type the IP config. Now what is my IP address? 161. Now let me go back to Windows 7 machine. 161. Okay. I am now with the Windows 7. For those who are thinking about bug bounty program, this is something like that. Now this is what we call evasion. Okay, evasion. Okay. Now next thing. Now am I a system administrator? Okay. Let me just type get UID. Yes, 100% system administrator. Now what machine is this? I'm very interested to find out. I just type sysinfo. Okay. Now it tells me my reconnaissance is correct. It's a Windows Server machine. It's on service packs, etc. Okay. Now this is ultimate. Now this is what I meant. Now even though you have Nexus scan, you have run these tools. Oh, the result is out, and it shows that there's no much of vulnerabilities. Okay. There's no high. There's no critical. Oh, okay. I'm fine. But it doesn't mean that there is no way that hackers, okay, they can block us from coming in. Okay, so just now you have seen, okay, I have demonstrated. Now, even though there is no much criticality, okay, I still able to access the system. So these are the skill set, guys. If you come on board to learn about cybersecurity courses, now these are the things that we will guide you to teach you. Now, if you are a veteran, very good. Okay, I hope that you are seeing you are agreeing with me what I'm doing. But you have someone is very new in this industry. Probably this is something that wow, these are things you will learn during the 5 days courses. Now, whatever course that you are taking, now these will be the steps and the procedures that we will teach you. Okay. Now coming back to my slides. Okay, coming back to slide. So to wrap up in the pen testing, now this is what we call the security audits, the VA and pen testing. Now each stage are very clearly defined. What do they do? Okay. Now coming back to here, incident response. Okay. Now how do you do incident response? Now this is another prep. Now once your pen tester is done, you know. Now the other way is also you want to make sure that the blue team is always alert. The good guys, there is always alert. They are there to see, is there any funny system? Is there anything attacks come in? Will they be notified? Now this is where your firewall, your IDS, your IPS, everything comes in. Okay, so now if you are far from away from the enemy, now make him believe that you are very near. Okay, now this is for the blue team. Okay, this is okay, quoted by Sun Tzu. Now sometimes the hackers, sometimes they will be wondering, are the blue team on duty? Are they civilian? Is their systems intact? Okay. Now the blue team definitely will not tell us, okay, say, I don't have this system, I don't have this system, the systems will be really vulnerability. So what do? They probably will put out something there to let you alert that, if you come across the line, I will be able to catch you. Okay. So this is what I meant. If you are far away from the enemy, okay, now make him believe you are there. Now this is the hacker's mindset. We want to get close to you, but we want looking for chance. Now the blue team will need to picture to the hackers, no way, man. Okay, there's no way you can come in because I have systems, okay, for me to do what? To detect you, okay, to detect you. So, so how do we do that, guys? How do we do that? Now, probably, okay, on my systems, I need to install something to verify that you are actually coming to my systems. Now, how do I do that? Okay, how do I do that? I must have certain tools, okay, certain tools that are able to detect that you are able to, if you cross the line, I will able to see, okay, that you are actually coming to my network. So with this, guys, I'm going to share with you a tool that I'm going to put it over here, okay? Okay, I'm going to share with you a tool, okay? Now this tool basically is what we call a sensor, okay? A sensor tool. So the installation process is pretty straightforward. Installation process is pretty straightforward, okay? So hopefully it runs, okay? Hopefully it doesn't give me any hiccups, okay? Yeah, this is something that sometimes you run in virtual memory machines. Sometimes you have all this issue. Okay, so maybe what I do is now let me exit the systems. Okay, let me exit the systems. Okay, so let me just give it a try again. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, just let me just give one more try. Okay, just let me give one more try. See how it goes. Okay? So while we're waiting, okay, now let me just come back to my slides. Okay, now incident management. Now how do you engage? Okay, so tell your teams, tell your staff. Now if there is an incident happen, now what do they do? Not everything have to call IT. Not everything have to involve. Now how do they do? Now you have to prepare the incident handling response. You must have an SOP, standard procedures. You must be able to have tools that are able to detect and analyze. Now, before even the hackers, their virus or trojans was able to penetrate to your systems. Okay. Now, last but not least, they need to have notifications. Now, if you are quick enough, you can do containment. Okay, containment. And of course, this comes in your forensic investigation. Now, the team will come in to find out what is happening to the systems. Now, we have everything in place. How come that hackers still able to invade? Now, this is where the other causes. Now, if you are someone that is very interested, in example, in CSI, in investigating, now, guys, this is something that is what we call forensic investigation. Okay. Now, if you refer to Microtech website, that they have also conduct this called forensic investigation. Now, as myself, I'm also a forensic investigator. Now, and it will be also my pleasure that to share with you now how does forensic investigator carry out investigation. Now, what tool do we use? How do we do planning? How do we do detection? Okay. Now, for forensics, okay, for incident response. Now, basically, it's actually you are come up with policies and reactive process to what, to counter. Now, if this is happened, now should you be now similar to the COVID-19? Now, what should you do when there's a virus history? So you must protect. You must isolate yourself, wear masks, okay, sanitize your hand at all times. Now, these are all we call procedures, okay, incidents procedures. Okay, now let me come back to my scanner. Hopefully my, oh, it's done. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm going to click on here. I'm going to click here. Okay, because of time, guys, okay, I'm just sharing with you some simple concepts, okay, some simple concepts. Okay. Okay, I'm going to launch my sensor. Okay, good. So basically now I am putting a sensor, okay, an incident response, okay. Now incident response, but by putting a sensor in one of my network, okay. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to perform a scanning, okay, a scanning. Now remember, incident response. Now if you do not have a sensor, if someone is trying to attempt to scan your network, now if no sensor, what will happen? Okay, so guys, okay, I'm going to perform a quick, okay, a scanning tool, okay. So I'm just going to quickly run the map. Okay, so on your side, guys, you may hear an audio alarm sound, like a siren sound or something like on your side when the map, the scanning is actually performing, okay. So hopefully I can catch up the siren sound. Hopefully you can catch up. Okay, guys. Okay, good. My Nmap have run. Okay, I discovered my machine. Now this is very similar to the vulnerability scan, but this is different. When you do the Nmap, you are discovering what you are discovering. Also vulnerability, but what are the machines and what are the open ports as a backdoor? So let me review what is the status. Whoa, what happened here? Now it shows me that my ports is all highlighted in alert. IDS. Okay, it prompts me that someone is actually trying to tapping me. Okay, so what will I do? Let me read my status. Oh, there's details coming from which IP address. Okay, now what type of attacks they are going on. Okay, is a severity high. Now, if you think of severity, refer back to the VA, the CVE details. Then they tell you about the severity. Okay, and then they give you the details, the time events, the systems, where does it come from? Okay, what port did they attack? Very detailed. Okay, very detailed. It even may be able to find a signature of it. So threat. Okay, this is what we call incident. Now, the moment I see this, what should I do? I run panic. Oh, guys, there shouldn't be any panic because the system is able to alert you that there is someone is trying to access your system. Okay. Now, talking about this. Okay. Now we move on to the next stage. Okay, it's what we call the threat hunting. Now, which is one of our last stage of today, our topic. Okay. Now, in cybersecurity, if you are blue team, you're most likely you'll be doing VA, patching, okay, tightening, harden the systems, hardening your system, prevent from any cyber attacks. Now, if you're on the next stage, you are between the so-called the bad guys. Now we call you guys as a white hat. Now you are ethical hacker. So what you do, you pen test your office network to see is there vulnerability. Now, once you have vulnerability list out, guys, you iron out. The next thing that you do is put in sensors, okay, to prevent in case real hackers are coming. Now, what should you do? Now, you prepare your incident response. Now, how do you react to the reports? How do you react to the actors, okay, that's actually touching your network? How do you respond? Now, with this, the next one is another higher level, okay? It's what we call the threat hunting, okay? Another higher level. Now, without any basics of any any certifications of or many cybersecurity courses, if you straight away go to threat hunting, guys, that is very, 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 very difficult. Now, if you have a ground of forensic, now this is something else that you also can consider to learn on. Now, what is threat hunting, guys? Now, let your plans be very dark and impenetrable as night, and when you move, you fall like a thunderbolt. Now, threat hunting. Now, hackers, they like to attack you or comes in very, very quiet. Now, when they are so near that you don't even know, they attack you like a thunderstorm. Okay. Now, this is how the hackers do it. But on the other hand, the good guys also can function the same thing. I'll be very quiet. I know that the hackers now, based on my just now my alarm, I know that hackers are coming. So what I can do, I can actually channel them into one other area, which I call the DMZ zone or safe zone. So what I do, I watch the hacker what they are doing. Okay, I watch the hacker what they're doing. So how do we perform threat modeling? Now there are many methods, okay, of threat handling. They could be objective, they could be identified threats or by systems. Okay, so it will be easiest for us to access. So over here, guys, okay, I have another systems, okay, that are set up to perform an attack. Okay, so I'm going to type. Okay. Now my system has invaded. Now I'm waiting for the user to click. Now this is I'm attempting as a hacker to come from outside to attack someone from inside. So my user, what you do, you will go to the website. Okay. Now I'm actually setting up as a Apache server. Now this is I can consider a C2 command. That means somewhere out there, maybe a Dropbox, maybe a Google Drive. Now I send something to you. I want you to click. So currently I'm testing out. Oh, it works. Okay. So the next thing is I'm going to do this COVID. Okay. Or COVID-19. Okay. Now for demonstration purpose, guys, I'm just putting as a demonstration purpose. Now what do the user will do? Now, if this is a automatic script writing, guys, now it will automatically run the Trojans or malware by itself. So in a way, I'm simulating that the user is actually running. Okay, the user is actually running. Okay, the particular thread. Okay, running threads. So what happened now? The moment the user click it, okay, now there's something's happening now. There is a backdoor, okay, connecting to me. So I see my status change. So what I do, guys, I'm going to, okay, now I'm in ready, guys, okay, IP config, okay, I'm in ready, okay. So what do we mean by threat hunting? Now, of course, okay, now if you have a system in place, okay, you can perform this what we call a threat hunting. Excuse me. Okay, a threat hunting. Now this is running a process like a petrol machine. It's more than an antivirus. It's actually trying to do what? It will look at every single process that is running in your computer. Okay, it's running in your computer. Okay, now if anything that is not normal, they will flag out to you. Okay, they will not normal, they will flag out to you. This is what we call a threat hunting. Now, how do I know that the system is actually running? Okay, is actually abnormality. Okay, now very simple. I have this thing called virus total signature. Okay, so what I do is I can check on the virus total. Okay, I can check the virus total. Okay, or okay, I can also do this. Okay, I can also do this. You see, the moment I click yes, okay, now every single process that's running in my computer will start to submit their signature file to virus total to check whether this file, okay, is it something fishy? Okay, so they are submitting, okay, for verification. Okay, and of course, okay, and of course, this is the result. Now, anything out of 74 antivirus company, okay, everything they detect is 100% okay. But however, there's one particular file that's very interesting. Okay, I detected that this is called unknown. So if today you are the system administrator, you will probably say that this file is definitely dangerous. Okay, now because of this threat hunting, okay, this tool, now you are able to kill the process. Okay, you are able to kill the process. Okay, now talking about something that is much more higher level. Now, most companies, they will do what? They will get something what we call SOC, okay, or SIEM tools. Okay. Now, SIEM tools basically will present you into what? A very systematic dashboard format. Now, easy for those people who are doing 24/7 monitoring your network. They will able to find out, is there any false attack or true attack. Now, with this, guys, okay, I would like to introduce to you a particular tool, okay, a particular tool or a company. Now, they are one of the SIEM tools, okay, that is actually very popular in the market. Okay, now this tool basically is now the next video I'm going to share with you is you will be able to see then what if there's a phishing attempt that is actually attacking the company. Okay, now how does this SIEM tools will able to detect the phishing attack and stop it from invading the systems. Okay.
Cybersecurity pros know very well that the user is both an organization's greatest asset and its greatest vulnerability. End-user behavior can be difficult to baseline and monitor, as users often click on suspect links, open unknown attachments, and unknowingly expose the organization to risk. The hackers you're dealing with are professionals. They're motivated, focused, and have nearly unlimited resources. Detecting malicious activity, responding effectively, and neutralizing the threat takes time and skill. Without the right tools and technologies, an intrusion can go unnoticed for months, and attackers know it. But you're lucky if you receive half the resources you need to protect your business. So, how do you spot a single suspicious action from the noise of everyday data when your brand, revenue, and possibly your job are on the line? You begin your workday by getting coffee and logging into LogRhythm. From your dashboard, you start your daily security tasks, starting with a review of your environment. From LogRhythm's threat activity map, you notice abnormal activity originating from Belize. So, you drill down to the unusual location. You find that LogRhythm Network Monitor's Deep Packet Analytics function has detected an inbound spear phishing attempt. Recognizing a potential incident, you create a new case. Add the original alarm as evidence and assign it an appropriate priority. With just a click, you investigate further. The full details of the phishing attack are immediately displayed in the Analyze view. A quick analysis reveals that the attacker attached a potentially malicious file. Using LogRhythm Network Monitor's file reconstruction feature, you successfully isolate and extract the potentially malicious attachment. A quick pass-through virus total concludes that based off known exploits, the PDF appears to be benign. No further action is warranted, so you close the case and continue your day. Later, a Tier 2 SOC analyst named Seth sees multiple alarms related to abnormal network activity. LogRhythm security analytics have detected beaconing traffic, often indicative of command and control. Other network anomalies corroborate these alarms, generating an escalated alarm with a higher calculated risk score of 84. From the case dashboard in real time, you see that your colleague has created a Priority 2 case surrounding the suspicious beaconing. With just a couple clicks, Seth adds in the beaconing alarms and appropriately tags the case. New data alerts LogRhythm's advanced analytics to a network port scan originating from an endpoint. With LogRhythm, case collaboration is easy. Seth adds you as a collaborator so you can both investigate the incident. Jumping into action, you quickly review the case. A hacker appears to be probing your network for vulnerable endpoints and is trying to conceal his actions using a common port and protocol. From the previously assigned case tags, you realize that the case containing the new network port scan alarm shares a host name with the earlier spear phishing attack. It seems that these two cases are related and that the spear phishing PDF had a poisoned payload after all. You quickly and easily associate the two cases, instantly connecting crucial data for further analysis. Meanwhile, in the Alarms tab, you continue to add evidence from the network and endpoint. It shows that the hacker just installed a rootkit on the spear-phished machine. Logarithm detects this by recognizing an unauthorized script being run on the endpoint, and then an unauthorized executable. You see that not only was an unauthorized script executed on the endpoint, but a new application was added to the auto-start registry, a dead giveaway that malware has been installed. Knowing that the hacker has completed initial recon and is staged for lateral movement within the network, you escalate the case to priority 1 and set a resolution deadline for today. The attack is happening now. Another alarm comes in. Logarithm's user behavior analytics alerts you to abnormal user actions on the same endpoint from the earlier spear phishing attack. This indicates that the hacker has taken control of the compromised computer. They must be stopped now. Fortunately, your SOC is powered by Logarithm, and the user behavior alarm presents you a smart response countermeasure called Endpoint Lockdown. Upon approval, the countermeasure dumps system data for future forensic investigation and terminates the hacker's connection. After confirming account termination and malware removal, you can close the case and perform a comprehensive incident debrief. Logarithm's case audit function makes this easy by centralizing all related data and preserving digital chain of custody for criminal investigation. Hacker stopped, breach averted. This was a case of a hacker breaching perimeter defenses with a successful phishing attack. The attack could have led to continuous compromise of a corporate endpoint with access to immense amounts of sensitive data and intellectual property. Fortunately, Logarithm's security analytics detected several stages of the attack, and its incident response orchestration function helped analysts work together to rapidly investigate the threat, and its smart response countermeasures finished the job. With Logarithm's security intelligence platform, you shut down attackers who gained a foothold in your environment before they could steal data and wreak havoc.
Okay, so guys, this is what we call about threat hunting. Threat hunting. So we are almost coming to the end of our today's presentation. Okay, so the system, now this is the total solution. So before even you reach SIEM, now this is what we call threat hunting. Now if you must have a lot of understanding. Example, what is called log analysis? How do you define log? How do you read logs? Now if you talk about contextual data, how do you perform a vulnerability scan? Okay, how do you contain a threat intelligence? Okay, now next one. Now when you talk about event data, now how do you actually set up your IPS and systems to block out, to identify all these things? Now this, okay, actually all this will be covering in the course. So I really hope that you guys will be spread the things around, okay, to talk about embark on your next certification. Now why? Because essential service. Now I believe this COVID thing probably won't be so soon will leave us. Now you will see everyone will be working at home, okay, traveling overseas and looking at your working on laptop. Now if today I'm a hacker, I probably will think that this is the best chance for me to steal data. In fact, during this COVID period, you will realize that the cybersecurity attacks are rising up, especially of phishing attacks. So how do you prevent this thing? First, you must think like a hacker, behave like a hacker, walk like a hacker. Now, you must behave in a way so that you can actually know how to do. So guys, I urge you that you can go to Microtech Learning. Okay, now they provide you a lot of courses, okay, such as example EC Council courses, okay, ITU, okay, Microsoft Soft ISACA, and CISSP, CISSP. Especially for EC Council course, guys. Okay, EC Councils we have many, like example CH, okay, CHCND, okay, ECSA, and forensic investigation. Now all these courses currently certification are really anything. Now remember, I recall about 2 months ago, I did one batch with Microtech, and then I think there's a few of the attendees that have attended this CH we have fun during their 5 days. We went through a thing. Now, sometimes even I went a bit abroad, so I did something that is, much more, show them more examples that is huge. So with these guys, okay, I really thank you for your participation and your patience throughout this session. Now, this is very, very appreciated. At the same time, guys, I really thank you for your time and watching over this particular seminar, okay? So again, my objective of here is to show you what is called VA, PT, incident and threat hunting. Now, conclusive, how do you get to here? It's because of these courses, okay? Now, these courses will give you very good in-depth, and the certification, I believe, guys, will lend you even another higher ground. So with this, guys, I wish you all the best, okay? And my name is Anthony Gui from Singapore. Wish you all the best, okay? And remember, guys, okay, after this seminar, any inquiry, please proceed to Microtech Learning, okay? Microtech Learning, the friendly staff are standing by to help you with your inquiry, okay? So thank you for your time, okay? Adia, pass back to you, Adia.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you for your lovely webinar that you conducted and giving us an insight of what cybersecurity is all about. I really appreciate it. And people who have joined us, we have this webinar is recorded, so you can go back and revisit this webinar in the later stage. I will be launching a poll right away, which you can go ahead and submit your polls. And in case if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us and write to us on webinar@microtechlearning.com. Thank you guys for joining in. I hope you all enjoyed the webinar, and we will be getting more and more webinars for you in the near future. Thank you and good day to everyone.
Thank you. Bye. Goodbye, everybody.